Welcome to NoFap Nation. Today's topic is bold but important. Masturbation, right or wrong? We're diving deep into the truth behind this habit, mentally, physically, and spiritually. If you've ever questioned whether it's helping you or hurting you, this one's for you. Number 1. Temporary pleasure, long-term guilt. Masturbation gives you a quick burst of pleasure, no doubt about it. It's instant, private, and easily accessible. But what follows is often ignored, a wave of guilt, emptiness, and regret that stays much longer than the pleasure ever did. This temporary pleasure hijacks your brain's reward system. It creates an illusion that you've achieved something or satisfied a real need, but in reality nothing has been gained. No growth, no connection, no progress, just a chemical high followed by a mental crash. After a few minutes of satisfaction, what you're left with is a feeling of being drained, both emotionally and physically. The guilt that follows isn't just in your mind, it's real. You start questioning yourself, why did I do that again? Did I need to? Am I weak? These thoughts chip away at your self-confidence. You feel like you've lost control, and that frustration builds every time you repeat the same cycle. This long-term guilt also affects your behavior. You may feel less motivated, avoid social interactions, skip workouts, or delay work and goals. Slowly that one habit starts influencing your entire lifestyle. It builds a negative feedback loop: urge, pleasure, guilt, regret, repeat. And the more often this happens, the more numb you become to real-life achievements and experiences. You lose excitement for natural things like relationships, learning, building your future, or simply being present. All because your brain keeps chasing the next quick dopamine hit. The truth is, temporary pleasure is never worth the emotional toll it brings. Masturbation may feel like an escape, but it's just a trap, one that costs you your energy, focus, and inner peace. Once you recognize this pattern and step away from it, you'll begin to rebuild your confidence and self-respect. The real reward lies not in giving in, but in taking control. Number 2. Dopamine overload. Every time you masturbate, your brain releases a surge of dopamine, the feel-good chemical that creates a sense of pleasure and reward. But here's the catch: when you keep triggering dopamine unnaturally and frequently, like through porn or excessive masturbation, your brain starts to expect high levels of stimulation all the time. Over time, this constant flood of dopamine causes your brain's reward system to get desensitized. That means your brain starts to need more and more stimulation to feel the same amount of pleasure. As a result, everyday things that used to feel exciting, like working out, achieving a goal, socializing, or learning something new, start to feel boring or meaningless. This is called dopamine overload, and it's dangerous. It rewires your brain to prefer quick, artificial highs instead of real-life satisfaction. You lose interest in long-term goals because they require effort and patience, while masturbation gives instant pleasure without much work. This makes you lazy, unmotivated, and emotionally flat. Another big problem: your attention span takes a hit. Since your brain gets used to short bursts of pleasure, it becomes harder to focus on tasks that require deep thinking or time, like studying, building a skill, or having deep conversations. You become more distracted and more impulsive. Even worse, this can lead to addiction. Your brain craves that quick hit, and you end up chasing the same stimulus over and over again, even when you know it's harming you. That's how you lose control, not just of your body, but your mind. But the good news: your brain can heal. When you stop overloading it with dopamine, it starts resetting. Slowly, real-life activities become enjoyable again. Your motivation returns. You start feeling more alive, more focused, and more driven. That's why NoFap isn't just about quitting a habit. It's about reclaiming your brain. Don't let fake pleasure steal the joy of real-life experiences. Number 3. Energy drain. One of the most underrated effects of frequent masturbation is how much it drains your energy, physically, mentally, and even emotionally. While it might seem like a harmless release, it actually takes more from you than it gives. Let's start with the physical side. After ejaculation, your body goes into a recovery mode. This is natural. Your body just released vital nutrients and hormones, including zinc, which is essential for muscle growth, immunity, and overall strength. That tired or lazy feeling you get afterward isn't just in your head, It's your body literally slowing down to recover. When this happens often, you begin to feel less energetic throughout the day. Your workouts become weaker, your mornings feel heavier, and you're constantly tired, even without doing much. That constant fatigue stops you from doing the things that actually build your life. Now think about your mental energy. Masturbation often leads to foggy thinking. You lose focus, your brain feels slower, and it becomes harder to stay productive. Why? Because your brain is stuck in a cycle of quick pleasure, followed by a dip in motivation. That low-energy mindset doesn't just kill your drive, it eats away at your ambitions. Then comes emotional energy. You may have noticed that frequent masturbation can make you feel dull, numb, or even moody. You're less excited about things, less emotionally connected to others, and your confidence starts to fade. Why? Because deep down you know you're not in control, and that realization makes you feel weak. But when you stop draining your energy into this habit, something amazing happens. You start to feel sharper. You wake up with more purpose. Your workouts improve, your focus sharpens, and your confidence returns. Not just because of physical changes, but because you're back in control. Energy is life. Don't waste it on something that gives nothing back. Choose to keep your power. Choose to rise above. Number 4, addiction is real. Many people think masturbation is just a harmless habit, but the truth is, it can become a serious addiction, just like smoking, drinking, or gambling. It starts off as an occasional release, maybe once in a while when you're bored or stressed, but over time, it can turn into a daily routine you feel forced to do, even when you don't want to. What makes it addictive? One word: dopamine. Every time you watch porn or masturbate, your brain gets a huge hit of dopamine, the pleasure chemical. Your brain loves this feeling and starts craving it more often. Before you know it, you're chasing that high every day, even multiple times a day, just to feel normal. And here's where it gets dangerous. The more you do it, the more numb your brain becomes to the pleasure. So you need more intense content, more frequent release, and more time spent in this loop just to feel satisfied. This is how a simple habit becomes a full-blown addiction. It doesn't just affect your body, it messes with your mind. You start planning your day around it. You feel anxious if you can't do it. You waste hours in private, isolated from people and real experiences. You might even lie to yourself, saying this is the last time, only to repeat the same cycle tomorrow. And when you try to stop, you feel withdrawal, mood swings, restlessness, low energy, even depression. That's not weakness. That's addiction talking. The worst part, it steals your time, your focus, and your drive. It takes away your ability to enjoy simple things in life. You stop growing. You stop chasing goals. You lose control. And that's when it becomes scary. But here's the good news. Recovery is possible. Just like any addiction, the first step is awareness. The second is action. The moment you decide to take back control is the moment you start healing. Masturbation addiction is real, but so is your power to break free from it. Number 5. You lose your drive. One of the most damaging effects of frequent masturbation is the way it slowly destroys your internal drive. The energy and motivation that pushes you to chase your goals, connect with people, and improve your life. At first you may not notice it. You tell yourself, it's just a stress reliever, or it helps me sleep. But over time, the habit chips away at your ambition. That fire inside you, the hunger to succeed, to grow, to chase your dreams, starts to fade. Why does this happen? Because masturbation gives your brain a shortcut to pleasure. It tricks your system into thinking you've achieved something big when in reality, you haven't moved an inch. Your brain rewards you with dopamine, the same chemical released when you accomplish real goals, but without any actual effort. So your brain starts choosing the easier path, fake success over real progress. This leads to low motivation. You start skipping workouts, putting off work, ignoring responsibilities, and losing interest in learning new things. Things that once excited you now feel like a burden. You stop pushing yourself because your brain is already getting rewarded with every release. It doesn't end there. This habit can make you avoid social interaction. You isolate yourself more often, lose confidence, and stop building genuine relationships. Deep down, you feel unworthy or disconnected. You might crave connection, but your self-image weakens with each relapse. making it harder to talk to others or express yourself with confidence. And the worst part, you stop caring. Your goals, dreams, and ambitions start feeling distant. You settle for comfort. You become a passive version of yourself, watching life go by instead of living it. But here's the truth. That drive isn't gone. It's just buried. And the moment you choose to stop feeding your urges and start feeding your purpose, it begins to return. Don't let short-term pleasure kill your long-term potential. Your real power comes when you take control and live with purpose. If this video opened your eyes, hit that subscribe button and join the NoFap Nation. Let's grow stronger together, one day at a time.